We're back here with NBC News In Depth tonight. An extraordinary look into a secret and disturbing world, a place where thousands of people who need help are living in some of the worst conditions you can possibly imagine. The place we're talking about is Serbia, part of the former Yugoslavia. Today, an international human rights group reported that life there for thousands who are mentally disabled is beyond grim. My friend and colleague Ann Curry is one of the few journalists who've gotten inside this world. She's here with us in the studio tonight with this exclusive report. Ann, you and I were saying earlier, I've been able to see this. These are heartbreaking images, especially, I think, for those of us with kids.
You're absolutely right, Brian. These images we're about to show you are hard to watch, but very important to see. We found children and adults with Down syndrome and cerebral palsy forced to live out their lives in Serbia's mental institutions. They are the voiceless. Serbia today is a country emerging from years of war and communist rule. But far from the bustle of Belgrade, the capital, is a hidden remnant of this country's past that it has not yet come to terms with. Places that few in Serbia or the outside world know about. Its mental institutions. NBC News gained unprecedented access to some of these institutions.
So this is the room where the most severe cases are kept?
Where more than 17,000 adults and children are systematically warehoused. We found grown men crammed into cribs. Women crowded on benches in the same small room day after day. But nothing prepared us for this. Children left alone and emaciated. Their bodies disfigured from years of neglect. Disabilities have long caused shame in Serbia. Doctors commonly advise parents to put mentally disabled newborns into institutions. Some boys and girls subjected to these conditions simply stop growing. Experts call it a sign of severe neglect.
This is a 21-year-old boy who's never been let out of the crib.
The staff told us that this little girl, Jasmina, is actually a teenager.
Oh my gosh. This is a 15-year-old girl?
The report released today by Mental Disability Rights International calls conditions in some Serbian institutions life-threatening and torture.
It's a physical and an emotional death sentence.
What sets Serbia apart, the group says, is the large number of adults and children who are tied up, like this little boy we saw tied to his crib one morning.
They're prisoners in those institutions, and the state is responsible for what they're doing to people.
We spoke with one of the Serbian ministers in charge of the institutions, who said he is new to the job and had not yet visited them. We showed him some of our footage.
Children are left in the darkness, and they're also tied to cribs. Are these conditions, in your mind, humane?
These conditions are far from humane, far from humane. The conditions are well below any acceptable level.
So you agree that it is hurting the children, hurting these people with disabilities to be in these institutions?
Absolutely. Of course. Our general policy is to close down institutions like the ones you visited. They should not be existing.
He says the new Serbian government inherited the problem and doesn't have the resources it needs to fix it.
How long is this going to take? Years?
Sadly, years, yes.
In the meantime, for the forgotten in these institutions, years become lifetimes. Serbia is trying to gain admission to the European Union, so today's report increases the pressure on the government to confront this problem. There is more information on this, including how you can help, on our website. That's at nightly.msnbc.com, Brian.
As we said, it's heartbreaking. And heartbreaking to think of the millions of people in the world ready, willing, and able to love those kids.
I know. Well, hopefully on our website there'll be a way for people to contribute, because the suffering is great.
Courageous work, Ann. Welcome back.
Thank you.